Nature has designed certain things to be unique. Every individual on this planet is unique. Our DNA is unique. Our fingerprints are unique. Similarly, every person's horoscope is also unique. You can look at it as your unique identifier in this world. The beauty of the horoscope is that it is not just static like other identifiers, but it provides the key to unlock your present, past, and future. Namaskaraha. Welcome back to Jyotish Shastram. In this episode, we will now get to the most popular topic, which is horoscope or Janma Kundali or Jatakam. Ja in Sanskritam means birth. You would have heard words such as Ajaha, which means unborn, a name for Brahma. Dvijaha means twice born, which is usually a reference to those Brahmins who go through sacred thread ceremony. The ceremony is considered as their second birth and hence they are called Dvijaha. Coming to our topic where Ja is used is Jataka Kundali, which is a horoscope. Horoscope is a snapshot of the position of grahas at the time a person is born. Hence, the horoscope is called Janma Patrika, Jataka Kundali, etc. It indicates shape, mentality of the person, as well as the influence of the grahas on the native. It also helps determine the good or bad events in the life of a person. The three most important ingredients required for horoscope are time of birth, place of birth, and date of birth. When we talk about horoscope, people just take it for granted that these three data points are required. But my approach is to go into the fundamentals. So let's ask ourselves this question: why do we need these 3 points of data to prepare a horoscope? Why not just two? How is it that these three complete the input? We will understand this by the end of this episode. So let's start with the fundamentals. Let's start with time. We all know that the time in America is different from the time in India. Why is this? Earth revolves around the sun, but from Earth it appears like sun is moving from east to west. When there is sunrise in one part of the world, there is sunset in the other part of the world. So people staying on eastern side of the earth will see sun first than people staying on the western side of the earth. Also people staying in between east and west part of the earth, they experience sunrise at different times. To measure anything, we need a reference. So even for measuring time, we needed a reference or a universal standard, which is Greenwich Mean Time based in England. Longitudes or Tulamsha Rekhas are the key to know the time. These are imaginary circles drawn perpendicular to the equator. During the British rule, Greenwich, a place in England, was selected to be the prime meridian or 0 degrees longitude, or popularly known as center of world time. Do you know which place was 0 degrees longitude in India and the world before the world turned Eurocentric? It was Ujjain, which was considered as the zero prime meridian. Mahakaleshwar temple stands testimony to the fact even today. The name Mahakal is so very apt. Kal means time, and Mahakal, Lord of Time, represented the place that determined the universal time. The temple was constructed as the observatory of time. Ujjain was considered prime meridian internationally, where we see this mentioned by even Greek geographers like Ptolemy. Ujjaini zero meridian is mentioned in their maps. India had more knowledge on measurement of time, but Britishers, in order to show their prowess and with international consensus, made Greenwich as prime meridian in 1884. Coming back to our topic, we now are clear that Greenwich is considered as the first point from where time is measured internationally. Places east to Greenwich is where sunrise takes place earlier than Greenwich. Places west to Greenwich is where sunrise takes place after it occurs in Greenwich. So, this means that for every 1 degree change in longitude, the time varies by 4 minutes from Greenwich. In other words, the time increases gradually by 4 minutes From east of Greenwich and when going towards west of Greenwich, the time decreases gradually by 4 minutes for 1 degree difference in longitude. So at 15 degrees east longitude line, Africa is 1 hour ahead of Greenwich, whereas Iceland is at 15 degrees west longitude line and hence is 1 hour behind Greenwich time. A slight deviation. We have heard in our Itihasas that Sri Rama was Suryavamshi, whereas Sri Krishna or the Pandavas were Chandravamshis. Do you know why? The longitude that passed through Ujjain went through areas like Kurukshetra, etc. Longitude was also called as Lanka then. People staying on the east of Ujjain were called Suryavamshis, and people staying on the west of Ujjain were called Chandravamshis. Ayodhya was on the east of Ujjain, and hence Sri Rama was a Suryavamshi, whereas Hastinapura was on the west of Ujjain, and hence Pandavas were called Chandravamshis. This is how the Suryavamshi and Chandravamshi race spread throughout the world. There is a school of thought that Suryavamshi is traced to Hamitic race and Chandravamshi is the Semitic race. Coming back, so did each country adopt the time based on the longitude that they are placed on? The answer is yes and no. Every region or state in a country did not base it on the Greenwich time and longitude difference, but instead, the country on the whole adopted and followed a standard time. For instance, Paris time for France people, Berlin time for Germany. Since USA was spread from east to west, 4 standard times were adopted as zonal times. For India, we adopted the 82.5 degrees longitude east of Greenwich. So the standard time in India is 5.5 hours in advance to the time of Greenwich. If I need to make my horoscope with the time of birth as 9 a.m., remember 9 a.m. is Indian Standard Time, which applies across the country. Though we round off time for our day to day activities as standard time for the country, for Jyotish Shastram purpose, we don't take this time on face value, but instead we convert time to the local mean time based on the particular place you were born. In Bangalore, when I see the sun and assess time which is called direct solar time, then it will not match the Indian Standard Time which was adopted throughout India. Hence, to cast the horoscope, we don't take the country's standard time, which is 9 a.m. in this example. Instead, we need to take the accurate time as per the latitude and longitude of the place where the person was born, that is Bangalore. This way, the horoscope is cast accurately. Let's now look at the use of the 3 data points to cast a horoscope. We need the date of birth to know the details of nakshatras in which the grahas are located on that day. As we know that grahas are in constant motion and hence we need to capture their location as per the date of birth. We need the time of birth to know the exact graha position at that time on that date. By knowing the place of birth, we can find out the local mean time to know the lagna or the commencement point of the horoscope. Earlier Jyotishagnas checked the Panchangams manually and did the elaborate calculations to locate the graha positions and finally would cast the complete horoscope. Then the modern method came in. They used to cast the horoscope using table of ascendants, table of houses, and ephemeris or Panchangam to cast a horoscope based on these parameters. Of course, with the advent of technology, we are able to cast the horoscope with softwares in a much faster and accurate way. In this episode, we understood the importance of why we need date, time, and place of birth to cast the horoscope. Going forward, we will learn how to map the horoscope with the location of the grahas. Also, as we are now getting into the deeper subjects of Jyotish Shastram, in order to do justice to the quality of my videos and retain the simplified ways of imparting this Shastram, I will post the videos every alternate week. In the next episode, we will go a step further, learn about Bhava and Rashi. These concepts will help us understand the horoscope better. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel if you would like to watch more such videos. Dhanyavadaha.